Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
To create a sales receipt, click the Create icon and then click the Sales Receipt link under the Customer's heading. Alternatively, click the Sales link in the navigation bar and then click the Customer's link at the top of the page that opens to the right. Then click the Create Sales Receipt link under the Action Columns drop-down for the customer for whom you want to create a sales receipt. If needed, use the Choose a Customer drop-down to select the customer and place the customer's information into the form. Note that you can also choose the Add New command from this drop-down menu to open a new customer window where you can add a new customer. In this window, you can also click the Details link to show the full customer information window. If you add a new customer, click the Save button to save it and close the window. The Email field lets you enter the customer's email address or shows the selected customer's email address. Checking the Send Later checkbox lets you create the sales receipt but email it to the customer later. The Billing address shows the selected customer's billing address. Enter the date of the sale into the Sales Receipt Date field if needed. If shipping is enabled, a Shipping Address field, a Ship Via field, a Shipping Date field, and a Tracking Number field also appear. Then use the Payment Method drop-down to select the customer's method of payment. The Reference Number field is used to record any associated reference number, like a check number for example. Use the Deposit To drop-down to select the account into which the received money is placed. The next area is the Line Items area. This is where you enter the products and/or services sold. If you enable service dates in sales forms, you can enter the service date of services provided into the Service Date column. Click into the Product and Service column and then select a product or service from the drop-down menu. If you selected a product or service, the description appears in the Description column. You can also type a description here if desired. You can enter the quantity of a product bought or service provided by typing it into the Quantity field. The rate for the product or service per unit of quantity appears in the Rate field. You can change it if needed. The Quantity field is multiplied by the Rate field to show the total amount for the line item in the Amount field. If entering a product or service without a rate or quantity, you can simply enter the total amount into the Amount field if needed. If the product or service is taxable, ensure the Tax field for the line item is checked. If classes are enabled and assigned by one to each row in transaction forms, then select a class from the Class drop-down. If enabled but assigned one to each transaction, then the Class field instead appears at the top of the Sales Receipt area in the Customer area. After completing the first line item, continue adding line items until all the items are added to the sales receipt. At the left end of each line item row is a selection handle. To change the order of the line items, roll your mouse pointer over this handle until it turns into a four-pointed crossed arrow. Then click and drag the line item up or down to reorganize the line items if needed. To delete a line item, click the Delete button at the right end of the line item row to delete. To add a new line item row, click into the bottom line item row to automatically add a new row. To add 4 new rows at once, click the Add Lines button under the line items area. To delete all your line items, click the Clear All Lines button in the same location. To enter a message to show on the sales receipt, type it into the Message Displayed on Sales Receipt field. To enter a memo for yourself, type it into the Memo field. In the lower right corner of the sales receipt is the sales tax subtotal and total field information. If you entered a sales tax rate for the customer when creating their customer record, the rate appears in the Select a Sales Tax Rate drop-down. If not entered, use this drop-down to select the correct sales tax rate. If you enabled a discount field in your sales forms, you can use the Discount drop-down to select either the discount percent or discount value choice. Then enter the percentage or amount into the field to the right. You can click the button that looks like an up and down arrow within a blue circle to the left of the sales tax rate and discount fields to switch the order of the two fields in the sales receipt each time that you click it. Doing this changes whether the discount is applied after sales tax is calculated or before sales tax is calculated based on the order in which the fields appear. If shipping is enabled, you can enter the amount of shipping into the shipping field. In the lower left corner of the invoice is the Attachments field, which lets you attach a file to the invoice. You can drag and drop files onto this field or click its name or icon to open a file upload dialog box that lets you browse for and then select the file to attach. Note the 25 megabyte file attachment size limit. The toolbar at the bottom of the sales receipt lists the actions you can perform. Different options appear here when creating a new sales receipt versus opening an existing sales receipt. When creating new sales receipts, the Cancel and Clear buttons appear at the left end of the toolbar. Clicking Cancel cancels the sales receipt creation. Clicking Clear clears all the fields but keeps the window open. In the middle of the toolbar are the Print or Preview, Make Recurring, and Customize buttons. Clicking the Print or Preview button opens a pop-up menu that lets you check a Print Later checkbox or click either the Print or Preview or Print Packing Slip commands. Checking the Print Later checkbox saves the sales receipt and later reminds you to print it in the activities list on the dashboard page. Clicking the Print or Preview command opens a window that shows the sales receipt as a PDF and lets you preview or print it. Clicking the Print Packing Slip command creates a packing slip from the sales receipt. It then shows it as a PDF so you can print it. Clicking the Make Recurring button opens the Recurring Sales Receipt window. This window lets you create a recurring sales receipt, which is much like creating a recurring invoice as discussed in a previous lesson. You can click the Cancel button in the toolbar to cancel the recurring sales receipt and return to the main sales receipt screen if needed. Clicking the Customize command in this toolbar lets you select a new sales receipt template to use, edit the current sales receipt template, or create a new sales receipt template by selecting a command in the pop-up menu that appears. Creating form templates is discussed in a separate lesson. After creating the sales receipt, you can click the Save button in the toolbar to save it. You can also click the Save and Send drop-down button at the right end of the toolbar and click either the Save and New, Save and Close, or Save and Send commands. Clicking the Save and New command saves the sales receipt and creates a new sales receipt. Clicking the Save and Close command saves the sales receipt and closes the sales receipt window. Clicking the Save and Send command saves the sales receipt and sends it by email to the customer's email address.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.